Picture this moment with me. You walk through your front door after a long day. Your shoes hit the floor. Your keys land on the counter. And before you can even say hello, your dog's nose is already there. Not at your hand. Not at your face. Lower. Way lower. And you freeze. Because it's awkward. It's personal. And honestly, you've never really understood why they do it. But here's what most dog owners never realize: that one sniff? It's not what you think it is. Your dog isn't being rude. They're not crossing boundaries. They're not even being weird. They're reading you. Every single time your dog presses their nose to your body, especially in those, let's say, delicate areas, they're gathering information you didn't even know you were giving off. Your emotional state, your health, where you've been, who you've touched, what you're feeling, all of it lives in your scent. And to your dog, that scent is a language more fluent than any word you've ever spoken. So if you've ever felt embarrassed when your pup goes nose first into someone's personal space at the park, or wondered why they won't stop sniffing you the second you get home, stay with me, because what I'm about to share will completely reframe the way you see your dog's most awkward habit. And before we go any further, if you love your dog enough to understand what they're really telling you, don't skip this. Hit that subscribe button right now. Because the dogs who are truly understood, they're the happiest ones. And if you won't subscribe, drop a comment and tell me why. Tell me where you're watching from. Let's see how far this pack has traveled. Your dog deserves an owner who listens. Don't scroll past this. Let's start with the basics, but in a way that actually makes sense. You know how humans shake hands? How we look each other in the eye, smile, maybe hug if we're close. Dogs do that too. Just differently. When your dog sniffs another dog's rear end, they're not being inappropriate. They're saying hello. They're exchanging information. They're connecting. You see, tucked right beneath a dog's tail are two tiny glands called anal glands. And these glands? They release a chemical cocktail so unique, so personal, it's like a biological ID card. One sniff tells your dog everything. The other dog's age, their gender, their health, their diet, whether they're stressed, excited, or somewhere in between. It's not gossip. It's not judgment. It's communication at its most honest. And here's the beautiful part: dogs don't lie with their scent. They can't. What they are, what they feel, what they've experienced, it's all right there, unfiltered. So the next time you're standing at the dog park watching your pup do their thing, remember this. They're not being weird. They're being real. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Because your dog doesn't just sniff other dogs. They sniff you. And what they're learning, it goes way deeper than you ever imagined. Insight number 2, the superpower nose, 2:40 to 4 o'clock. Let's talk about your dog's nose for a second, because calling it powerful doesn't even begin to cover it. You and I? We have about 5 million scent receptors in our noses. That's decent. We can smell coffee brewing, fresh bread baking, rain on concrete. Your dog has up to 300 million. 300 million. And it's not just the quantity. It's the processing power. A huge portion of your dog's brain is devoted entirely to analyzing smells. So when you walk into a room and smell dinner, your dog smells the garlic, the butter, the exact temperature it was cooked at, and probably what mood you were in when you made it. They're not just smelling the surface. They're reading layers. Think of it like this: you're looking at a photograph. Your dog is watching a 4K movie with director's commentary. Now apply that to you. When your dog sniffs your body, especially in areas with high concentrations of sweat glands, like your groin, your underarms, your rear, they're not being nosy. They're zooming in. They're focusing. They're gathering intel. And what they find there, it tells them everything about your day, your feelings, your health, and your heart. Here's something that stopped me in my tracks when I first learned it. Your dog doesn't just smell what you are. They smell how you are. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. When you're excited, it's adrenaline. When you're sad, scared, or overwhelmed, your chemistry shifts. And all of those shifts? They come out in your sweat, especially in the areas we don't talk about at dinner parties. So when your dog comes up to you after a hard day and presses their nose right there, they're not being awkward. They're checking in. Are you okay? Do you need me? What's wrong? Some of you might have noticed this already. The way your dog suddenly won't leave your side when you're feeling down. The way they rest their head on your lap when you're anxious. The way they just... It's not magic. It's chemistry. It's connection. It's love, translated through scent. And if you've ever wondered how deep that bond really goes, if you've ever felt like your dog understands you better than most people, then you need to subscribe to this channel. Because every video we make is designed to help you see what your dog has been trying to show you all along. Don't let this be the last time you learn something that changes everything. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, but why does my dog sniff me every single time I come home? Even if I was only gone for 10 minutes? Great question. Let's talk about that. When you walk through that door, your dog doesn't just see you. They confirm you. Because here's the thing, dogs don't rely on vision the way we do. Their world is built on scent. And scent, to them, is memory. They have something called a vomeronasal organ, also known as Jacobson's organ. It's a special structure that lets them detect pheromones and chemical signals we don't even know we're releasing. So when they sniff you after you've been gone, they're not just saying, "Welcome home." They're updating their mental file on you. Is this still my person? Have they changed? Are they okay? Do they still smell like home? Your dog stores a scent memory of you. And every time you return, they cross-reference it. Like running a software update, but with love. And here's the deeply emotional part. And depending on the dog, they'll respond. Some get protective. Some get clingy. Some just sit quietly beside you, their way of saying, "I'm here. Whatever it is, I'm here." You've probably never thought about it this way before. But your dog doesn't need to see your face to know it's you. Your scent is you. And every time they take that sniff, they're saying, "There you are. I've been waiting." Now let's talk about what happens at the dog park. You're standing there, coffee in hand, watching your dog do the butt sniff shuffle with 3 other dogs. It looks chaotic, maybe a little inappropriate. But here's what's really happening. Your dog is scrolling. Not through Instagram. Through scent. Every dog they sniff isn't just an individual profile. It's a network. Because dogs don't just identify the dog in front of them, they can smell who that dog has been around. Let me say that again. Your dog can smell the other dogs that this dog has interacted with. Who's been playing with their best friend? Is someone in the pack feeling off? It's detective work. If something has changed, if you're sick, if you're stressed, if you've been around someone new, your dog notices. Immediately. It's like 6 degrees of separation, but with noses. Studies have shown that when dogs encounter a new scent, they react more strongly if that dog has recently been around unfamiliar dogs. That means they're tracking social trails. Who's new in the neighborhood? Who's been playing with their best friend? Is someone in the pack feeling off? It's detective work. It's social intelligence. And honestly, it's kind of genius. So next time your dog takes a long, investigative sniff, don't rush them. They're not being rude. They're reading the room. If you skip subscribing to this channel, you're going to keep missing these moments. The little signs. The hidden meanings. The things your dog has been trying to tell you for years. Don't be the owner who never learns the language. Your dog is speaking. Are you listening? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. And let's keep learning together. Because the more you understand, the deeper your bond becomes. But you might be wondering, is it always about information? Or is there something else going on? Turns out, sometimes your dog sniffs you for a completely different reason. Here's something you probably didn't expect. Sometimes, your dog isn't sniffing you to learn something. They're sniffing you to feel something. To feel safe. Think about it. When a dog is stressed, anxious, or uncertain, what's the first thing they do? They seek out familiar smells. And the most comforting, familiar, deeply reassuring scent in their entire world? Yours. More specifically, the scent that comes from your apocrine glands, the sweat glands located in areas like your groin, your underarms, and yes, your rear. It's not gross to them. It's home. Some dogs will steal your dirty laundry when you're out. Not because they're misbehaving, but because your scent is their emotional safety blanket. When they press their nose into your body, they're not invading your space. They're grounding themselves. They're saying, "You're here. I'm okay. We're okay. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine you're a dog. You can't talk. You can't text. You can't say, I'm scared, or I miss you, or please don't leave. All you have is your nose. And the one scent that calms every fear, soothes every worry, reminds you that you're loved, it's theirs. So you seek it out. Over and over. Not because you're being weird. Because you're trying to feel close. That's what your dog is doing. Every single time. And here's something even more surprising. Sometimes that sniff? It's not just about saying hello. It's about saying, I'm in charge here. Insight number 6, the dominance check, 11:25 to 12:30. Now, this one might catch you off guard. But in the dog world, the first dog to sniff often holds more social confidence. Not dominance in the aggressive sense, but in the I'm comfortable, I'm secure, I know my place sense. At the dog park, the dog who walks up and confidently initiates the sniff is usually the one who feels more assured in the interaction. Meanwhile, the dog who gets sniffed first? They might be more laid back, more submissive, or just chill about it. Now, does your dog think they're the alpha over you? Probably not. But they might still engage in the same behavior to maintain their sense of routine and order. You're part of their pack. And sniffing is just how they operate. So even if it feels like they're overstepping, like, dude, I'm the one who feeds you, try not to take it personally. In dog language, they're just keeping things running smoothly. Social order, routine, connection. It's all part of the same thread. Here's the thing. Every single behavior your dog does, it means something. And the more you understand those meanings, the more your relationship transforms. If you care enough to see your dog for who they really are, not just what they do, then subscribe. Because this isn't just a YouTube channel. It's a community of people who love their dogs enough to listen. And your dog? They're counting on you to be one of them. Now, here's where things get a little personal. Because your dog's nose doesn't just pick up emotions. It picks up hormones. Okay, let's just say it. If you're pregnant, ovulating, or on your period, your dog knows. Probably before you do. That extra attention to your lower body? It's not random. It's chemical. Hormones like estrogen and progesterone change your body's scent signature. And your dog, with their 300 million scent receptors, picks up on it instantly. Some dogs become more protective when their owner is pregnant. More affectionate. More clingy. Because their nose is telling them something's different. Something important. Something that requires their attention. It's not invasive. It's instinct. And honestly, it's kind of beautiful. Your dog doesn't need a pregnancy test or a calendar. They just need one sniff. And suddenly they know. You're changing. And they're going to be there for it. Every step of the way. Think about what that means for a second. Your dog doesn't just love you when you're happy, healthy, and normal. They love you through every change. Hormonal, emotional, physical. They don't judge the shifts. They don't shy away from them. They lean in. They stay close. They adjust their behavior to match what you need. And they do it all without a single word. Just a sniff. A glance. A quiet presence beside you. If that's not love, I don't know what is. If this video has made you see your dog differently, if you've realized they've been loving you in ways you never even noticed, then do me a favor, subscribe before you forget. Because this kind of connection, it doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you pay attention. And every video on this channel is designed to help you do exactly that. Your dog is trying to love you the only way they know how. Don't miss it. Here's the truth that ties everything together. Your dog doesn't think but sniffing is weird. They don't think it's awkward, or embarrassing, or inappropriate. To them, it's just communication. It's instinct. It's biology. It's how they've been wired since the beginning of time. We humans? We build walls. We create social rules. We use words, emojis, polite small talk. Dogs? They sniff. They gather. They connect. And they move on. There's something almost refreshing about that, isn't there? No pretense. No filter. No shame. Just honesty. When your dog sniffs another dog's rear, they're not seeing something gross. They're seeing a story. And they're just trying to read the first page. So the next time your dog shoves their nose somewhere inappropriate, yes, you can gently redirect them if you need to, but also take a second to appreciate what's really happening. Your dog isn't being rude. They're being sensitive. They're being intelligent. They're being connected. And that connection? It's one of the most beautiful things about sharing your life with a dog. They don't need you to speak their language perfectly. But when you take the time to understand even a little bit of it, everything changes. You stop seeing bad behavior, and you start seeing love letters, written in scent. If you love understanding what your dog really feels, join our community. It's free. It's full of people just like you. And your next video might completely change the way you see your best friend forever. Hit that like button if this made you smile, think, or feel a little closer to your pup.